Why you generally don't want to be a general partnership. Now, there's a concept out here in the business world floating around, really probably more talked about by lawyers and courts than by business people, of a general partnership. Now, I see the word partnership used in the business world a lot, and it can mean a lot of different things. But let's talk about the legal context of a general partnership. And this concept is kind of universal across most of the states. Of course, as always, I'm going to advise you to talk to an attorney licensed in your state to give you specific information. But the basic concept is there's something out there called a general partnership. And when you don't have a business entity and you have two or more persons coming together to do something for profit, a business enterprise, then the courts will often deem that to be a general partnership. It's a kind of de facto business, right? It's a result of people working together in a business context without having a LLC or corporation or other entity that houses the actual business. And so what happens when you get these general partnerships created is they act together and they share the liabilities from the business. And then if something happens against the business, that general partnership is where the liability goes first, basically, the way most of these systems work. And then if that general partnership doesn't have sufficient assets, can't pay, whatever, then the liability is transferred out to the partners. Now, I talk about maybe, sometimes, etc., because in some old systems you could go directly to the partner. So whichever way, the partners of the general partnership are potentially liable for the acts of the partnership in an unlimited fashion. And of course, nowadays, with the advent of LLCs and corporations and these easy to set up entities, a lot of us expect to be able to set up things for limited liability, right? That is just the norm now. If you're conducting business, you're thinking that that business is a firewall and it's going to be separate from your personal assets. And because LLCs and corporations have become so accessible, so easy to file, and inexpensive, that's what the people kind of think is the default in their mind. But the general partnership is not that type of legal entity. It's not protected by those statutes. So we go back to older law that has been around a lot longer, and we end up in these general partnerships, and these general partnerships don't have the liability protections for the partners and business owners, and therefore assets are exposed. So you want to be very careful about this. So you generally don't want to be in a general partnership. Now, I have seen partnerships intentionally used sometimes for tax planning and other reasons. So, as with most things, there are exceptions to the rules, but you don't want to end up in one of these accidental general partnerships most of the time. You want to plan around not being a general partnership. That means setting up an LLC. That means being careful about who you call partner, being careful about who is your partner. All of these types of things are things that are important to think about. So, hope that's helpful to you. Hope that gives you some new thought. Hope it gives you something to talk about with your lawyer, because you should be working with a lawyer licensed in your jurisdiction that can help you bring all of these pieces together. Sit down with them. You're probably going to get attorney-client privilege for almost anything you would discuss with your lawyer, so take full advantage of that. Would love your comments. Go ahead and join me in the comments. Ask questions. Remember, comments are not confidential, so don't put anything in there you don't want other people seeing. For those things, obviously, talk to an attorney. But for things you don't mind the public seeing, for general questions, go ahead and put those in the comments. Maybe the topic of a future video here on the channel. I hope you go ahead and subscribe so we can be together again, looking at more videos. And we got a whole library of past videos for you to check out as well. I'll see you again soon.